Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we got Miss Claudia Jordan with some words of belated wisdom to younger women. Here we go.
What do you wish someone had told you about dating, like in your 40s and 50s back then?
You know, you think that when you're ready to settle down, that there's always going to be a lot of supply on the shelves, and it's not. Like at this age, a lot of the good guys are married or taken because they're good guys. And I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine the other day, and I'm like, well, your best bet now is maybe someone that a good man that maybe is coming out of a marriage, getting a divorce. So, you know, I think in our youth, and I would like people to know this, when they're younger, we think, oh, there's always going to be an endless supply. I can wait till tomorrow. Don't put off your happiness waiting. You know, if you find that good person, like a lot of times we wait, well, it's not the right time. It's not going to be like the right time. I would say go for it more. I wish I would have told someone told me just go for it. I probably have overlooked a good candidate before, you know, like maybe,
why is that though?
Me thinking the timing thing, maybe prioritizing career. You know, I definitely was always like work. I never thought I could like enough cushion built up to like relax and take my foot off the gas and start a family.
And then it just go on and on and on, and then you be 100 years old and you like, it's still working. And I think I will say specifically with Black women especially, I feel like we don't really have the luxury to think that we can kind of take time off like that. You know, and I specifically say Black women because like we're usually the backbone of everything. You know, not even just with our families, but with our friend circles. Like it's always something for us to do. We're always taking care of somebody else. I don't have children, but I'm always like feeding a friend or taking care of someone or helping somebody out or doing a favor. And I think that's a cape that we put on ourselves. No one told us to do this. It's just something in us that we do. And if you think about the Black woman in your life, you probably think, she's like a superwoman for everybody else. When does she slow down for herself? I think with Black women specifically, it's harder for us to ever feel like we can just kind of take a break. We have to be like all gas, no brakes. I don't think we have the luxury of feeling like, okay, I can take a breather now and relax. And I think it's really sad. You know, there's all these statistics about 45%, 65% of Black women will never get married, you know, and we're out here taking care of everybody else and not getting taken care of. And I think it's really sad. I think we self-impose this cape on ourselves to save the world. Look at all the marches. Look at all, I know this is dating, but I got to bring it into like the political space. We're always at the front lines for everybody else. For everybody. Brother gets killed, we're in the front lines. The LGBTQ community, we're in the front lines. Other women that are not even showing that up as our allies, we're in the front lines. Gaza, front line. We're always there for everybody else. And on top of all the stuff in our personal lives, we out here trying to save the world. When does that leave time to like really feel comfortable? When does that really leave time to like relax or even just like put yourself first or dating? And I just feel like a lot of women get caught up in saving the world and then they leave little time for themselves.
Y'all heard that foolishness? Now, what's foolishness, Crimson? The last part was foolishness. About putting, and I'm glad that she actually said that it's self-imposed, because it is self-imposed. A lot of that foolishness is self-imposed that Black women do to themselves and then complain that it's being done. But let's talk about the first part when she's talking about there's always going to be a supply. See, we all told you that, and this is especially plagues pretty women. And I say this because pretty women get a lot of masculine energy put their way, right? They usually can have sort of the pick of the litter a little bit, because even if the men don't approach them, if they approach the man, he's going, right? Because she's fine. So it's like, you know, I'm a baddie. So since I'm a baddie, I can pick this up later. The men will be there. I'm able to go and prioritize this, that, and the third over husband, over healthy relationship, over marriage, because the men are always going to be lined up to be with me, which is not true. It's not true. Pretty women may have, in some instances, a little bit longer stretch than women who aren't as aesthetically pleasing, but it run out for everybody. No matter how you look as a woman, it runs out for everybody, because the real thing that you're leveraging outside of your beauty as a woman is your youth and your mindset. So those are the other parts of it. After a man gets around your beauty, after he gets past how you look and how attracted he is to you physically, then you have to start getting into your priorities as a woman and your mindset as a woman. And are these things palatable to him? Are they compatible with him? Are you workable in from his point of view? Right? Because women don't never think, especially if you young or you get men like that, or you can get men like that. Women don't ever think that they have to do anything more than simply be there. And what they come to understand, usually too late, is that it takes more than you just simply showing up. That the man that you claim that you want, the kind of man who's going to be intentional and attentive, and he got this quality and he got that quality, and all of these wonderful qualities that you want in a man, and on top of the qualities, you want to be able to be physically attracted to him. You want to be able to be heads over heels for this man. So in order to get that man, he requires more of his woman than her physical beauty. He requires more of that because he's doing more than that. So you're running out of options because you're aging. You're running out of options because you think that there are options there that are no longer there. You're running out of options because your mindset is messed up. You're running out of options because you're prioritizing, like she said, prioritizing career. You're prioritizing this. You prioritizing everything over and above being in a healthy, long-term marriage with a man. You prioritizing everything else. So when you're prioritizing everything else, what that looks like in real time is you not paying attention to the man that actually came to you, that was your husband. Because once you get a certain age, you can't tell me you didn't run into a good man or good woman. You can't tell me. Right? Because when you think about guys, if you in your 40s or 50s, you cannot tell me that you have never run into a good woman. Yes, you did. And if you're a woman in your 40s and 50s, you can't tell me that you didn't run into your husband at some point. Because you did. You did. And if you did not pay attention, if you dismissed that man, if you overlooked that man, he wasn't tall enough, he wasn't fine enough, he wasn't, he didn't have the money, or whatever it is that you thought that he was lacking for you, or you was too good for him, or you was too fine for him, or whatever the case might have been. And then you end up overlooking that man. Then whose problem and whose fault is that? Then you get to a point where you look up, now you ready to have a man because now you just ready all of this working and stuff like that no longer takes as much precedent as it did before. You're not prioritizing it as highly as you did before. Now you're looking for that companionship. Now you're looking for the stability that a man brings to you that don't have nothing to do with profession or money or all of the other stuff that you claim was so important. Now you just want the man. And now when you look around, you too old for him. Like she said, the good men are married already. They taken off the shelf already. And your best bet, your best shot is one of these men that done came out of a divorce. He a good guy. He a good man. His wife left him, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, maybe now you can get him if somebody else free him up. But that's a gamble. That's a shot in the dark. There ain't no guarantee for that. You gave up your more of a quote unquote guarantee because you had that time when you were young, when you were youthful, when a man wanted to be bothered with you. Now, when these women get 40s, 50s, or older, they may still look good. Claudia not ugly. But you've been single too long. So where have you learned the skill set to be a proper wife to somebody? Especially the type of men that you would still be looking for, because I guarantee you she still think that certain men is beneath her and that she would never deal with them. And I'm pretty sure there's probably still one or two guys that wouldn't mind being in a relationship with her. But first of all, what's the caliber of them men? What would be the nature of this relationship? Would it be a dead end? You know what I mean? Like you just waste your time. You waste your time as a woman. You waste your youth. You waste your beauty. You waste all of these things that men are actually looking for and find valuable. You waste that value thinking you too good and ain't no man on your level and all this other crazy stuff that you thinking. Then you look up and you try to reach and get your man and realize there ain't none left. While you was playing games, these other women came and got these good men. Women that didn't think they was too good. Women that were able to display their value as women and as wives. And you'll sit back and wonder, how did this woman that don't look like she's so such of a much, that don't look like this, and she don't seem like she got this going and don't seem like she got that going, how she get that man? Because she showed up. And she didn't overlook him. She didn't nitpick him. Just like you had Leslie Jones, of all people, talking about she's super picky. Well, be by yourself then. Since you so dang on picky and ain't no man good enough in this, so then don't let him be good enough then. I don't want to hear the complaining. I don't know what the complaining is all about. Because really, to be honest with you, y'all put yourself in a position where beggars can't be choosers. You put yourself at the bottom of the barrel. So now you scraping the bottom of the barrel with bottom of the barrel men. And now you don't like the selection. But you had an opportunity to have a better selection of men. And you overlook them thinking, what did she say? There's always going to be a supply on the shelf. It's always going to be a man waiting to be with me. And that's not true. And can't nobody tell you that. Can't nobody tell you nothing. And now that you are at that point where ain't no man checking for you like that, He's certainly not. Now it's like, oh, this was the mistake that I made. I'm pretty sure that there was a woman somewhere around you that warned you not to do that. That's the other lie that these women get on here and tell, that nobody warned them and nobody told them. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And I know that they did, because warning always come before destruction. Always. 100% of the time, you get a warning from somebody. There was a woman in your life that saw that you was going down the wrong path, a path that you were not going to like the outcome once you got to the end of it. And she told you, baby, you need to go ahead and get you a man, where your husband. And you poo-pooed it off. I don't got time for that. And he's me and this and he's me and that. And girl, and I'm too busy getting the bag. And da-da-da-da-da. And you had a million excuses. Now you get somewhere talking about didn't nobody tell you. Yes, they did. That's a lie. But jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.